Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. It is exactly 8:30 a.m. South African time. We cross over, I presume, to Afghanistan to talk with Sial Yousofi, who is a news reporter of Shamshad TV based in Afghanistan. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program. And we are now looking at the issue around the United Nations to stop exempting Taliban officials from travel restrictions. Is that good news as far as the Taliban is concerned?
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me. The United States and the United National Security Council made its internal disputes will decide today whether to extend the travel exemption of 13 Taliban officials or whether they should be sanctioned. USA, Britain, British, and France, three permanent members of Security Council, want to limit the travel bans from Taliban officials, but Russia and China, two other permanent members of council, they want to release that sanctions, and they want to Taliban officials to have trips to other countries. But US says that seven of those 13 Talibans can be sanctions from other countries, but except Qatar. They can go to Qatar and they can, I think they have an office there. They can join the negotiation with the US there. So it's I don't know, it's a good news or bad news for the Taliban officials or for their government, but it's not a good news for the people of Afghanistan because all these sanctions and all these bans, which are target the Taliban officials, it affects directly and indirectly people of Afghanistan.
Absolutely. We also understand that Ireland, the country of Ireland, have objected this week, well, this is what the diplomatic sources are saying to us. The good news, obviously, is that Russia and China are supporting Afghanistan or the Taliban being exempted from all of these monetary finance freezes and travel restrictions. Do you believe that by later today, which is when the announcement will be made, that if the Taliban, these particular 13 members of the Taliban, are given the all clear, that it would be good news for Afghanistan and also then mean that all the freezing of assets will now possibly be made available to the people of Afghanistan so that you can
Um,
start repairing and rebuilding the country?
So as I told you that it's not a solution for the problem. As we see, if the Taliban are allowed and available to talk with the world and to be involved in the issues of Afghan people with the world, it will be good. Because as we saw from the beginning that the world has sanctioned Taliban officials from the beginning. They have frozen our asset, and they have do whatever they wanted from the sanctions and bans from Taliban. But the Taliban hasn't have not been changed in this period of their government, 1 year period of government. So they are not changed. So I think this is not the solution for the world to have sanctions and bans on Taliban officials. But if the Taliban are allowed to the world and to travel to other countries, it will be good for the involving of the government, and they will the issues of Afghanistan, the problems of Afghans will be also negotiated in between countries and between Taliban, and the world will have pressures from other sides. There are a lot of more pressures, diplomatic and political pressures they can put on Taliban. So it's not a solution. So it will be good. It will be good news if the United Nations Security Council today release the sanctions and they allow Taliban to travel to other countries. So they will have a negotiation with other countries, and they will solve, or they will discuss the problems of Afghans with other countries, and other countries will also somehow convince the Taliban to have to give the rights of education, and to give the rights of other rights what they pointed out to the world, to the Taliban. So it will be good to involve in these issues with the world if they don't ban the Taliban and the Taliban officials from traveling to other countries.
Okay, so the two big issues on the part of the Taliban is the unfreezing of the gold reserves and finances, which is obviously being held by Western powers, because making those monies available would help the Taliban start rebuilding the country. It seems as if the Western world has only one issue against the Taliban, and that is equal rights of women and girl children, allowing them access to education, and possibly getting the women back into the workplace so that they are able to support their families. Those are the two driving issues for now, as far as the Western world is concerned. I spoke with journalist Yvonne Ridley last week, and she is suggesting that the Taliban have so many other issues that they're dealing with, that the issues around the women and girl children is kind of almost at the bottom of their list, because they have other more urgent and pressing issues. And eventually, inshallah, they will get to allowing access of education to girl children and women back into the workplace. Are you in agreement with that sentiment by Yvonne Ridley?
I think there are not two issues mostly, as we see from the other sides of the negotiation between the U.S. and the Taliban. I think terrorism is another big issue during this period of 1 year or 2 years, 1 year of Taliban. Like as we see, the U.S. always blaming Taliban that they are not obeying, and they are not attention. They have not in attention of Doha agreement, because there was killing of targeting and killing of Imam Zawahiri in Kabul, and there are a lot of more issues like terrorism, like connection with the Al Qaeda and other groups, extremist groups. So the political, all other political and regional issues are the top of the list, and the rights, equal rights, rights of women, humanitarian rights, they are not that much important for the U.S. and Western countries. So after that, big issues like terrorism, like connection with the extremist groups, these issues should be solved. Then the other humanitarian and women and girls issues will be in the middle and the bottom of the list of that negotiation, and that as what the US and other Western countries want to be solved. So I think the big political and regional and huge diplomatic issues are in the table of negotiation between the Taliban and US.
Do you believe that the interest by the United Nations to allow, with other Western countries, to allow for the exemption of the Taliban to start speaking with Western governments and allowing them to travel freely to interact with other governments has something to do with the issue of lithium being found in Afghanistan, and that we know is an absolutely precious commodity for the Western world or for the global markets?
Uh, Let me tell you that travel ban is one issue that it will make Taliban more as they are in the extreme side, they will more be that kind of people, because sanctions and bans are not a behalf on in the favor of Taliban and the Afghan people. Uh, um, if the Taliban are allowed to travel to other countries and to be involved with the big international issues with other countries, like in the economic side, in the humanitarian side, and to in the side of helping and assessing the people of Afghanistan, and these issues which are more important for Afghan people, and that will be uh, for as we say that it will be priority for Afghan people to have Taliban officials to involve with the world, because involvement of the Taliban will useful for the Afghan people. It will benefit for the people of Afghanistan, because as they ban the Taliban official, as they put sanctions on the Taliban officials, it will ruin, destroy the economy, destroy the economy of people of Afghanistan. It will be a big crisis in Afghanistan, as they are not changed. They will not change the Taliban by banning, by sanctioning, because we have experience in 1 year that the Taliban are not changed after economic sanctions, after political sanctions. So the world should find other ways of pressures on Taliban. It will be not the way of it's not a solution to trouble ban the Taliban.
And that's where we leave it. Thank you indeed for your thoughts this morning. Sial Yousofi, news reporter of Shamshad TV based in Afghanistan. Thank you indeed. Have a
Thank you for
wonderful
having me.
day, and assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And it's an absolute pleasure. 8:43 exactly. When we come back, we'll be talking with Nishan Bolton. He is the director of the Ahmad Kathrada Foundation, and we're going to be looking at an exhibition which was opened yesterday in memory of the late Ahmed Kathrada. In fact, I think it was his birthday, and had he been alive, he would have turned 93 years old. So do stand by for that interview and lots more coming your way this morning right here on Salam Media.